there? Is there a dog? Is he alone? Is he at the airport? Is he on a fucking bus? Is he on the plane? Is there a clicking noise? There's probably a clicking noise. Is this a clip show? I don't know if it's a clip show. It's a fucking show. Just listen, goddammit!
Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast. Came out of the box strong there with the Hey, what's happening? You can probably tell I'm not in an easy chair somewhere in boxer briefs. I'm actually fully dressed, folks. You know what I did? I went and bought a suit for this week's show. That's how I did it. I bought a nice gray suit. I got a nice little trim pocket square. I got a little houndstooth. I got a little herringbone. I got a hat on. I look like Rex Harrison. I can tell you this, the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane, especially when I'm wearing a fucking suit like this. God, I am looking sharp. What if I posted a picture of myself with like wearing a fucking sharkskin suit just doing this show? God damn it. You know what? I got to bring some more respect to this goddamn thing. You guys have all been deputized. You got badges on. You get your uniforms on. What if, oh, dude, we got to make badges. How fucking cool would that be?
I made a badge.
Hey, guess where I am?
At the badge store.
Yeah, I'm here at the badge place.
Badges?
You know, I'm a guy who's on the road quite a bit. I'm doing things. I'm traveling. I'm all over the place. As you know, I'm on a plane because my lovely girlfriend lives in the Midwest where I used to be from. The irony, folks, is thick. Because, you know, I used to live here and I never saw her. Our twain never met. And then sure enough, I go to fucking California and next thing you know, boom, social media happens. And then next thing you know, I'm in love with a girl that I'm talking about. I'm in love with a girl that I can't do without. I'm in love and I'm feeling like I'm wearing it out. I'm in love, but I sure did pick a good time to be in love. Aha, I changed it. I thought you were going to chime in and harmonize with me. Why didn't you?
You're going too fast again.
Yeah, it's, you know, I always feel like I have to. You know what I mean?
No, I know.
Well, in the beginning of the show, I have to go like fucking rocket fuel because it keeps people listening. I don't know why I think they're going to turn it off. If you're fucking listening, you're invested at this point.
Well, you're used to talking, being the only one that talks, so you kind of had to adapt the 40-year-old boy pace of talking. But I'm used to talking to Mike, and Mike's a lot easier to talk to than the 40-year-old boy.
Mike doesn't come to the shows anymore. We've kept Mike back.
Mike's got a restraining order.
I am in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. Vaguely near Chicago. I will not tell you where because I don't want you Googling this.
Yeah, I don't want.
That happened to me that really did happen. I talked about it on here where I said I was on the corner of such and such doing the show in my car. Like, I think 7 people or 10 people sent me the coordinates. They sent me a Google map photo of where the fuck I was sitting. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's pretty. Did that give you the creeps or was that cool?
I don't mind it. You know what I mean? Because it didn't happen in the moment. Like if somebody runs by and like snaps a photo of me with a flashbulb that goes off, is a little fucking freaky. Although I got to tell you, that is a wasted photo. I used to say that whenever I'm on stage, I'll come out to do my show or whatever on stage and guys will take photos. I'm like, literally someday you'll have arthritis in that thumb and you'll regret the one stroke that you pushed that button to take a photo of me.
Or you'll find an old box of pictures and go, "What? Who is this guy?
Who the fuck is this fat guy in the gray suit with the herringbone and the fucking and the
Rex
tweed?"
Harrison hat.
That's My Fair Comedian. That's what the fuck that is. My Fair Podcaster. That's got to be the name of the show, right? You know, last week I should have named the show That's Got to Be the Name of the Show, right? Because I said it like 5 times throughout the show.
I didn't listen to that.
I'm sorry, you didn't need to add last week to that sentence.
No, the only show I've listened to is the one I was on, only because I was so excited to be on a show.
Did you think you were excited?
Yeah, you know, remember in The Sopranos when Christopher Moltisanti got his name in the paper and he went and picked like 10,000 copies of the...
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I was. I was kind of like, I kept listening to it because I'm like, this really happened.
So my question is, you were excited to be on the show?
I was excited after the fact to hear it because it happened so fast. I didn't have time to like get uptight about it.
So just answer me. You were excited?
Kinda.
Okay, yeah, because I'm glad you're confirming that because the 14 emails you sent me afterwards didn't say anything about how excited you were to be on the show.
Until I heard it, then I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Hey, you know, here's my impression of Dave. Hey, you know, I'm just being this guy or whatever, but you know, I listened to this week's show with me and you, and you know, it was actually pretty cool. Like, I mean, it was kind of funny.
It was.
Yeah, I know it was funny. I mean, that's the whole point. And now we're going ahead and ruin it by trying it again. What the fuck? So here I am. I'm in Chicago, and there's a recording facility, and I didn't want to. Because I didn't want to record in Milwaukee again because Jill doesn't have a dog anymore, and I know you guys always want me to have a co-host.
Didn't you lose your co-host?
Unfortunately, yes. Tony had to.
She's doing her podcast on a farm.
She is.
Yes.
She is running free and doing her podcast there because all dogs go to podcasting farm. That's the movie, right? If I remember correctly. Boy, and Tony had like a thing, and I probably shouldn't talk about this since Jill listens to the fucking show. That's going to be terrible. She's like,
no,
because whenever it comes up, well, I don't know. Well, because it changed me for dogs. And now someone put on Jill's Facebook page a picture of another beagle, and they're like, "Hey, this beagle's calling your name." And then her friends all chime in and like, "Yes, absolutely, we can hear this dog chanting it." And I got news for you: if that dog is chanting Jill's name, I don't want it in the house.
No, I don't want to talk.
Because that is a fucking Manitou dog. Fuck that poltergeist nonsense. You and your fucking stuffed clown. By the way, that came out this week, the poltergeist remake. Yeah. And I said to Jill, I'm like, let's see it because we're seeing movies. And I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we didn't go because I've heard terrible fucking things about it.
I don't understand why they keep making those movies again.
Because because all of us are guys our age. You know what I mean? We'll go. We're the guys with disposable income now. Well, you are, and they figure that we're the guys who will go and check out those movies.
But I mean, if I want to see it, I'll watch it on TBS or something.
Well, that's what I said to Jill. I was like, we got to watch the first one first, and then go see the next one.
So we can just see this different people saying the same shit over again.
Yeah, she was even kind of like, I don't know, all right, because she just kind of goes along with whatever I say. I don't think Jill's my girlfriend so much as a hostage, honestly, at this point.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, because I'm like, hey, let's do this, let's do that, and she's like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine, sure. I don't know if there's anything that she really. She's in. That's the cool thing is she's a yes, and she'll do fucking anything I say. But that's the thing is then I say that we got to do things, and she's kind of like, oh, all right, let's go to that movie. Let's do this.
Yeah, like Patty Hearst kind of.
A little bit, yeah. Like I'm the SLA. That's exactly who I am.
So your oldest submachine gun.
I dragged her in all this nonsense. Oh my! I tell you what, she's on board for the shooting in Vegas.
We're not supposed to talk about that.
Are we not?
Which shooting in Vegas?
Well, when we're going to... All right,
the organized shooting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The other one we're not discussing on the air.
We're meeting that guy in the desert.
Yeah, that'll happen later. No, so we're all going to Las Vegas in October, and by we all, I mean like me and the UN of Evil, and
it's our yearly trip to Vegas.
Yeah, and our wives and girlfriends are going, and we were looking for things to do, and someone, I forget who, suggested we should go shoot guns in the desert.
That would be my wife and Dooley's Jimmy O's wife.
What was Gwen and Kristen and the Spilotro brothers? Yeah. They were the four who said that we should do this, and Jill was like, she looked at me, she's like, honey,
I'll do that.
I would do that. And I'm like, all right. And so here's the things we're definitely doing in Las Vegas. Jill and I we're going to shoot the guns in the desert if we have it happening.
All right.
And then Jill and I are having sex on a plane. I know that that's happening when we get to Vegas.
Okay.
All right. I don't know. And you're welcome to come if you'd like, because I understand there's a partition that separates the cabins.
No, I don't want to be anywhere near that.
Well, actually, that was more for all the listeners. That wasn't just for you.
Because I'm out.
I figured you wouldn't want to go because you were already there that one time that I had sex on a plane when I was alone. But I threw it out to the listeners. If the listeners wanted to jump on board, and they could go ahead and and because again, that would be kind of like the podcast because they would be behind a partition and then hearing me making a lot of noises and talking quickly. So it would be sort of the same.
And apologizing a lot.
Yeah,
you do that?
Not a lot, just once.
Just once,
and then just sort of sobbing.
Sorry.
The good news is it's like it will be at least be flying.
Sobbing.
Yeah, there's an in-flight magazine she can probably entertain herself with.
What's the movie?
No kidding. So I know that's all happening, but we're going there, but she's on board with the shooting thing. And I don't, again, as we know from year one of this podcast, when Eric Butterfield, former producer.
Oh, that's right. He took you shooting, right?
He did. And I got slide bite was what they called it. Oh. Cause you have guns. You actually have guns.
I have airsoft guns. They're not real.
But don't you have, no, you got that one that looks malevolent. You got an evil looking gun.
Yeah. I have a really big gun.
Really quick. That's David. I don't think I even said it. I just kind of presumed that everybody would know who you were.
See there, I went and got overconfident. I didn't even say who I was because I just assumed from the last time everybody would know.
You jumped in. I was like, oh, dude, I was so cool on that last show. And everybody's just like, are you Rock Sugar?
Who is this? Yeah, are you Rock Sugar? They come back again?
Yeah, I've had 2 guests in the entire time I've been on the show. So there's David Hernandez, and he is the guy who does all the music and the artwork for this show. He is a Renaissance man and a genius and my great friend of 35 years, and he has decided to let me into his basement once again to do some recording, because normally, I would be doing this in Jill's home, or I would be doing it somewhere else, but I've been with Jill all week, and then I saddled up in her car. And it was her idea, too. That was fucking cool, because I was like, I could just record at your place. She was like, honey...
Whoa. This was my idea.
Yes.
This was my idea.
Well, your idea was that if I'm in the area... Well, I should tell you this. You mutually came to that idea.
Yeah, but I want credit for it because I thought about it a long time ago.
Well, you'll take credit because you're on the microphone right now. But if she was here, you guys would have a fucking knockdown
we would have a
drag
debate
out.
Because when you were coming to Wisconsin, I was like, they're only a couple hours away. Why don't you just jump in the car, come down, and yell into my microphone?
See, it sounds to me like you're kind of...
I'm the kind of guy that I don't get credit for stuff. Remember, I told you this before. Like I would, Like somebody else in the UNLV will get credit for giving somebody a nickname, and I'm like, no, that was me.
That was me.
I said it quietly, and then somebody else said it loudly, and they got credit for it.
See, but I've got to warn you, you're crossing into dangerous territory here because you're attempting to cross catfight Jill. Now, we don't want that to happen. We both know, especially when you're both going to have guns in your hands the next time you see one another in October. But yeah, so you both, but literally, she thought of it independently of you, and you both had the suggestion.
So you listened to her. That's the difference.
Well, yeah, I kind of have to.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Well, I listen to you. I mean, I certainly take all of your suggestions under advisement.
You hear me.
You're Tom Hagen, man. You're fucking Tom Hagen. You're out, Dave. So eventually, I've got to say that.
Yeah, but if you're Vito Corleone, you'd have been locked up a long time ago.
Oh, gee. Well, are you kidding me? If I was Vito Corleone, the fucking baker would have let them upstairs to shoot me by this time. The fucking nunzio, or the fuck, who's that dude? What's his name?
Which one?
The guy who brought the flowers, and when Vito's in the hospital, and Michael says, "Hey, stand here and look tough."
Godson. Oh, the guy that came to the hospital.
He's a baker, right?
Enzo. Yeah, the baker.
Yeah,
your father. For your father.
Exactly. So I'm saying, if I'm Vito, Enzo, he just fucking drops off some muffins and lets me get shot in the head. I'm fucking done.
The only Don in Mafia history who doesn't listen to his consigliere.
Girlfriend Jill, never seen The Godfather.
What?
Dude. It's literally sitting on her stereo at her house now, and I keep waiting to throw it in.
I always think about these. It's hard to show somebody a movie that changed movies because there's been so many remakes and copycats that by the time they see the original, it's lost its.
But the good news is she's a blank slate because she hasn't seen a fucking thing. Like she's literally seen she doesn't know Goodfellas, she doesn't know Casino, she's not seen any of them. So I mean, I'm gonna have to start over from the jump. You know, I might start with Birth of a Nation and then just start showing her movies because she stopped at Mr. Mom, like, because Mr. Mom's her all-time favorite movie, and I think she just went, "This is the perfect movie. I don't need to watch anything else ever again."
All right, but Mr. Mom is a pretty good movie.
It's fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
Dude, did you see Michael Keaton on Letterman?
No.
All right, so Letterman's done, and we talked about it last week, but I mean, oh, fuck, Letterman, genius, and so great. Michael Keaton was on, because they had that fucking, farewell tour, basically, where he kept having certain guests on. Well, you see him bring guys on, and you don't realize, he and Michael Keaton have been friends for fucking 35 years. Like, I had no clue.
Yeah.
As let's put it this way, as much of friends as you can be with David Letterman,
right.
You know what I mean? Who's just fucking hiding in a room and throwing pencils at a ceiling panel. But Keaton and he had this really easy chemistry when Michael was on, and Keaton brought a clip. And I guess it's a clip that they've been trying to get on the show forever, okay? And Keaton even says to him, "Hey, I got a clip." And Letterman's like, "Oh, we don't have time. We're not doing this."
It's when they were both in a thing, right?
On the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
That's it.
On the Mary Tyler Moore variety show, they were writers on it and performers. So Keaton, and the best part is he's talking about it, and Letterman hides under the desk, and Keaton just starts laughing. He goes, "All right, roll it." And it's just this. They sang. I forget the song. Wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna do it together. No, she sang something, but it was a popular song of the time, and she's singing it, and behind them, like Dick Shawn. Again, the comedy. The comedy genius that's behind her it's literally Dick Shawn, Michael Keaton, David Letterman, Swoozie Kurtz is back there, and there's one other very famous person, and then another writer, and they're just the backups who are going like and dancing as Mary Tyler Moore with a dance skin on walks around like that. And the greatest thing of it is everybody else has thrown themselves into it. Shawn, Keaton, all of them are just like, we're getting to the barn and we're putting on a show. And you can see Letterman. He's got this
so
even then,
right?
but even then he's got the smile of like, oh, okay, I know this is stupid, whereas everybody else is invested. He's just back there, just tall and lanky, and just going, yep, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever done. And it's so great to watch, man, because you just see him cringing, and then they come back, and again he's under the fucking desk, and then he stands up and he hugs Keaton, and just the easy chemistry that they had was so great to watch.
Well, what was first? Night Shift was first.
Yes.
Then Mr. Mom.
Night Shift's where Keaton hit like a goddamn bomb.
That recently has been on one of my cable channels, and I forgot how funny he is.
1982 is when it came out, and it is. I'm 15. I'm 15, and everything he says in that movie is fucking hysterical. He just the scene at the end when he's working in like the fucking strip club, and he says that when he fucking hands the guy the towels. Again, it's my favorite line. All of them are hilarious.
Yeah.
But when Keaton, there's a fat dude, and he goes to hand him a towel, and he goes, "Hey, maybe you should take 2 towels, Mr. Tuttle." And he hands him, and he walks away, and the mafia guy grabs him by the ear, and he goes, "Excuse me, Mr. Tuttle," and he drags Keaton over, and he goes, "Hey, helium head, what's it take to pass out towels?" And Keaton goes, "Well, it's a skill like anything else." Fucking gorgeous.
Is there? I don't know how you are. We're like this all the time. My wife and I. For some reason, quotes from old movies just became part of our vocabulary, and sometimes you forget where they even came from.
Yeah.
To this day, if I ever have to leave and like, like we have a guy come over who's going to paint the house, or a workman or tradesman comes by. You know, we had our windows done recently, or we're going to have the garage painted or whatever. And I got to go into the house. I'll always say, "Honey, if you need me, I'll either be at the gym or the gun club." And that's from Mr. Mom. And I completely forgot about why he said. It's just one of those things we say all the time. It's like, "You want a beer? It's 6 a.m. Scotch?"
Yeah. And it's so perfect. Yeah. And all his timing is fucking phenomenal. I mean, it is so amazing to watch. And it's funny, Jill and I watched Birdman, and she didn't care for it, but I loved it. And he was so good in it because he's just got that sinister, malevolent thing happening. Like, I remember when I saw Clean and Sober at the movies, and I was like, dude, this guy should just do everything from now on, because he can. He's funny, and he's fucking dramatic, and he's just real. And a lot of your comedians can be super dramatic because they're all fucking filled with rage and ready to kill anybody at any fucking moment, so they can go ahead and pull off drama. By the way, I was dropped by my agent this week.
Awesome.
I got the weirdest thing. I got an email, and by the way, when I say agent, I mean 2 ladies who have an office that had some of my headshots in it, because they haven't fucking submitted me for a goddamn job one in over 2 years.
They're the same people that look at that photograph and go, why do I have this?
Yeah, who's
this fat guy in the suit with the Rex Harrison hat?
Yeah. And again, the thing is, it's all of those. They represent however many millions of people, and so I'm sure they just were digging out of some cubicles. And they were in the S's, and they found my fucking round head, and they were just like, I don't get this guy at all. But the thing was, a week before, I got a note from them saying, hey, you need to update your online profile if we want to submit you for anything. And I'm just like, you two are working out of a shed. Don't even fucking think like you're professional and you're going to go ahead and boost me into the business, because you haven't thrown me out for fucking anything in 2 years. I mean, literally easily. Over 2 years, they haven't said anything I did. I went and got on my own. So I mean, it just and I don't know. Maybe they'll still take a cut of whatever my future earnings are. I have and good luck with 0 out of 0, because there's going to be. Although you people are helping with all your deputizing and you're making me do things, and I appreciate that very much.
Before I forget, so do you think that if you showed The Godfather to Jill, that it would still have the same impact that it did? I mean, back in '72.
I don't know.
It's kind of hard
because I'm learning about her tastes and how she feels about movies and things like that. She likes scary movies. So we went and saw a movie called It Follows, which essentially, if you have not seen It Follows, a spoiler alert, here's what I'm going, and well, it's not a spoiler, I'm not going to give you anything away, but I'm going to tell you this. The movie It Follows is essentially, what if Freddy Krueger was an STD? That's what it is. Because it's like people, you fuck,
and claws then shoot out of your dick.
And then a dude, your dick gets a red and green sweater on. You fuck, and then something follows you and tries to kill you. That's basically it. It's
like an STD with that can walk around.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it will always be somebody from your past. You will recognize who it is, but you see them coming, and we watched it and we dug it. We thought it was fun. You know what I mean? And I guess it was one of those movies that started out on Netflix, and then they saw that they could make some money from it. They made a little bit in theaters, but we went and saw it. And it was one of those. And again, we were in an empty theater when we went to see it, and I'm always torn with Jill, because I'm like, hey, let's go see this movie, and then we go to an empty theater, and I'm like, let's have sex in this empty theater. Let's do that right now. But instead, we wind up watching the movie because that's what normal people would do.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I constantly want to risk going to jail. Don't you understand?
I guess, but why does it always have to be when your pants are down? I mean, why could you if you want to get arrested, you could do a million things, but why does it always have to be public?
Well, because I'm going to choose the most fun thing in the world to get arrested for. I mean, honestly, that's a better story. Do you really want me to what do you want me to do, punch the popcorn guy? If I'm going to get arrested at the movies, it's for fucking somebody. Seriously, Jill will just be like, and the thing is, Jill's a yes. So I'll be like, hey, let's do this. She'll be like, yeah, okay. Like, she's in.
Well, because she's a hostage.
Exactly. She has to fucking bend to my will. And I'm in for that. That's fine.
Oh, man, I can't even handle that concept. That's just crazy to me.
What, the sex in the movie theater?
Just the public. I mean, I get why people would do that, but just personally, I'm like, I
gotta tell you,
I'm not able to run into somebody's parents whose kid I coached.
See that? Well, that's the thing. That I will.
I'd
tell
have
you
to
that.
go to a different town.
That pops into my head occasionally because I'm still a fucking dope. You know what I mean? I still feel like I'm 10.
Yeah, but if you're in the movies and you look over and say, hey, that's the guy that brings me my ribs and he's having sex, you're like, that's kind of funny. But if you look over and say, hey, that's the guy that coaches my kid in Little League, that's not funny.
Well, that's a good point. Well, I get it. First of all, there's nobody in the theater. Please don't think that I'm in a crowded theater.
If there's nobody in the theater, is that really the public? Are you really doing it in a public place?
Exactly, but that's the point. Anybody can walk in at any time. You got to. It's baby steps, dude. And
it's espionage and it's the thrill of it's like spy stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right.
And I got to tell you, baby steps is probably not the best phrase to use when talking about going to have sex in public with somebody.
Baby steps?
Yeah,
No.
I should probably throttle
you
that
gotta-
down. But that's the thing is I'm always torn because, again, I think, I'm like, dude, it would be so great to fuck in this theater right now.
I've never had that.
I always think that. Are you kidding me?
Well, you're like that. You're like the library.
Well, when I'm with Jill, I won't lie. And again, I don't know how much of this you want to hear.
Probably none.
I am a fucking bulldozer. Like I cannot control myself, literally. And anywhere I wouldn't give a fuck.
I get it.
Like, cause none of her friends like me. Like, that's a lie.
But you said it so quickly.
Well, I mean, some of the people do like me. The people I've met, like, she's got some friends that do like me. But then there are some people, because again, she grew up in this small town, and she's kind of still there.
Yeah.
So I'm. You ever do that thing where you got like it's dishwater and you put salt and pepper in it, and then you drop dishwater in the dishwashing liquid, and it all scatters?
Yeah.
I'm dishwashing liquid. That's who I am. I'm Dawn. I take grease out of your way, and I scatter salt and pepper, and I make sure the neighbors don't want to fucking talk to me.
So there is a number of people that don't care for you.
It's not that they don't even care for me. They never give me a fucking chance. Like last year, dude, I was at her place, and all right, there's a never-ending theme of the fact that I'm a fucking goof. I mean, that's pretty much obvious. So I was at her friend Peter and Lori's house, and they're nice to me. They like me a lot.
Yeah.
They're super cool. So they have a fire pit, and then they got a bunch of wood and shit, and you got to chop it up and throw it in the goddamn fire pit. Well, I don't know. You know what I got? I turn on the stove and fire shows up. I mean, I don't have a fucking fire pit. I don't know anything about lighter fluid, any of that bullshit. But I was there, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm in. If I'm invested, and I'm sitting here, and there's citronella candles all over, I got to chop something up. So let's fucking do this.
Grown-up stuff.
Exactly. Not even grown-up stuff, like grown-up relaxing stuff, like sitting around a fire with a beer.
Was
shit
there
that
cheese?
I would. Huh?
Was there cheeses? Many cheeses?
Dude, Lori has a fucking basement filled with ketchup. Like, it's like just one of those things.
Oh, okay. I'm like, didn't know if it was like one of those things where you sit around and drink wine and have cheese.
No, it's sit around the fire and have beer.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Wisconsin.
Exactly. Yeah, what are you talking about here? But there's cheese, of course.
All right, there's cheese.
But I mean, like yesterday, dude, we went there I'll tell you this. The thing I'm talking about happened last year, but I'll talk about yesterday for just a second. It was Memorial Day, and we went down to Lori and Peter's to hang out by the fire. And it's four of us. It's literally four of us. And Lori's like, hey, would you guys like 10,000 pounds of food? No, I would not. But who cares? Lori doesn't fucking care. She just backs up a dump truck and dumps it all in our fucking laps. It's like, dude, stop making me bratwurst from last year. I'm not fucking hungry at all. Because I don't get food at all anymore. I'm fat and I eat chocolate bars and all that kind of shit. But Jill and I get together and she's tiny and I'm big. It's like fucking Laurel and Hardy go out to dinner and then there's fucking, we won't eat. We you know what? If we were Lady and the Tramp, we would eat the one noodle and we're done. We're fucking finished. We'd wind up in a fucking kiss and then we'd fuck there in the restaurant, like everybody said.
Doing it in a plate of spaghetti.
Yeah, let's do it. Dude, that sounds fucking awesome.
No.
Yeah, it does. No, I told you I wanted to pick Jill up and put her in a fucking cake. I did.
I do relate to that because, and this is a weird comparison, but it reminds me of when I was a teenager, because that's how you are when you're a teenager, and you get a girlfriend and. It's like this. It's night moves, man. All you care about is just getting somebody to rub your parts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all you think about is just somebody rub my parts.
I want to have as much sex with Jill as possible before she realizes I'm an idiot. Seriously, and just
that
fucking.
Clock is ticking.
No kidding, dude. So I'm on the fucking jump.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, it's like my whole life. Whenever I'm with Jill, I'm like, this is awesome, and I love her. But I keep seeing the 60-minute stopwatch in my head for her fucking realizing I am finished. All I'm doing is running out the clock, and I'm waiting for her to take a knee and fucking go back in the locker room and leave me on the field in a prayer circle. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
I get the Tebow in the end zone.
Yeah, dude, she's gonna fucking be finished with me eventually, right? She's just gonna fucking cast me aside, and why not? Why wouldn't you? I'm a dork. But yeah, man, it's a weird fucking Lori. And so yesterday, she just fucking unloads all this food on us. She's like, hey, man, I got 4 different salsas, and we got 1 million chips. And she goes, and then she's like, hey, I'm gonna make strawberry brats. Because again, it's fucking Wisconsin, and they shove everything in a goddamn bratwurst.
It's a strawberry sausage.
It looked like a horse cock. I don't know what the fuck it was. It's a bratwurst, but it's got strawberries in it because I guess they use them during the strawberry festival and they put them out. And dude, you know, it's Wisconsin. So, you know, every other state in the world is trying to cure cancer. They're making different sausages. They don't fucking know. Because Jill and I, earlier this week, we had rotisserie chicken brats.
Okay.
There's a meat market and we bought Serbian bacon. Dude, that's all. Jill and I fuck and we buy exotic cuts of meat. That's all we do with our life. And we go to movies. That's it.
But the movies must be new if she hasn't seen a movie since Mr. Mom.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing is I'm getting her on board with movies. We went and saw Mad Max last week.
Okay.
Fucking fantastic. It is so goddamn good, dude. And it's just it is just this weird fever dream of a movie where like all this crazy shit is happening and it's one of those movies where there's no setup where they go, you see the world go to shit and then all of a sudden these guys grow out of the sand. It's like, no, dude, the world is already fucking crazy.
Yeah,
they cover it in like a 2-minute voiceover and then you got to realize there are guys spray painting their faces and screaming about Valhalla. And you're like, yeah,
I'm in.
I am fucking in, goddammit. Dude, you have to see it just for literally, there's a war wagon, okay? And it's not Ron Brown's war wagon, but it's a war wagon. And the war rig goes astray. So these guys have, basically the whole movie is a chase where they're trying to get back the war rig. So these dudes realize the war rig has gone AWOL. And they're like, fuck, the war rig has gone rogue. We got to get it back. So they get all the war boys and they get their fucking cars to go chase them. And dude, people, if you've seen it, this is not a spoiler alert. All of a sudden, they just show these guys fucking in the desert. They're driving and there's war rigs and there's fucking dudes. They're all chasing this one truck. And then they pan over and you just hear boom, 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 boom. There's a fucking truck of drummers.
Oh,
they bring their own band, dude. These fucking guys bring, and then all of a sudden there's a guitar dude, and he's just like, he's wailing fucking metal chords, and then he shoots fucking Ace Frehley flames out of the neck of the guitar while they're driving. They're driving in the desert to go get the fucking war rig, and they bring their own fucking theme song with them, dude. It was fucking amazing.
Brilliant.
It was brilliant, and it's one of those movies where you watch it. You know, you can watch The Godfather and marvel at the intricacies of you know, the novel being brought to life and the way they portrayed it on and you told me the novel is even more detailed and intricate than the film.
As good as that movie is, and it's probably my favorite movie of all time. The book is just so great because you start like you read why things were done and who this person was, not just characters get thrown into movies because they only have a couple hours to tell this story, but in the book, you find out why that person is like that and what motivates them, and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of cool gangster shit in that book.
If there's a Mad Max book released, you'll just open it and a grenade will explode in your face. Out. Literally, you'll just look like Bugs Bunny with the fucking the black head after he got shot.
But wouldn't it be cool if you could just everywhere you went there was a metal band or something just playing shit for you? Like you're at the butcher, and then you go somewhere else and it's got a different kind of song, but there's drums and bass and shit.
Well, I'm lucky. I'm one of the rare individuals out there who actually has a theme song, thanks to you.
You got a couple,
so, yeah, which is ridiculously amazing.
That is kind of funny. Yeah,
last week I just
who
thought
has
about
a theme song?
I
know you're right.
It's fucking bizarre. Like because if you want to get into the full-on ego gratification that I have from this show, there 7 years when we've done the interlude. Yeah. That's just about me. That's just.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's so funny that we always talk about how much of a conflict can happen over the interlude, but when it all boils down to it, it's just about you.
Yeah.
It's like, but
you're like the guy in Monty Python who the guys with the coconut shells who walked behind me and just said, brave Sir Robin. That's who you are.
He ran away. I didn't.
You're a talented musician who has the world at his fingertips, and you've chosen me as your muse. Like you've made me.
It's kind of funny.
It's fucking ridiculous when you think about it.
You know what I want to hear is when you go on a talk show, like a Tonight Show kind of show, and they play the Good Christ theme song with a horn section and stuff. Like when you walk out and to meet Johnny Carson and it's like and then it ends and then you sit down.
See, I take it seriously.
I know.
Because I will do that. When I did it once, I hijacked when I did Podcastathon. I gave the guy in the booth, I go, play this when they bring me out.
Play my theme music.
And he's like, what? I go, yeah, just play it. And sure enough, this is like 4 years ago. And he's like, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Schmidt. room. And I literally walked out, just put my hands in the air. Like, yeah, that's right. I got my own theme
Can
music.
you dig it?
Motherfuckers, who wants some? But
I guess that is.
But I mean,
pretty
other
cool.
musicians, like, Van Halen wrote about girls, and the Beach Boys wrote about, let me think, what did they, probably the beach. Yeah, I'm going to go with the beach.
There were some girls in there, though, but they were beach girls.
True. And Jan and Dean wrote about surfing and bullshit. I don't know why I'm thinking of all the surf dudes now. I have no idea.
Well, you're talking about really good songwriters.
And you write about a dumb fuck. Like, literally, that's your whole gig. You wrote an album. You wrote a full album.
Yes, that's right, last year.
Drones of the Brood Chamber.
Yeah.
About me.
When one song was about how a friend of yours, who was a girl, saw your penis on their phone.
True.
And if that's not,
yeah,
a topic for a song, I don't know what it is.
And let me ask you this. When you were 15 and talking to me then, did you go, I can't wait to write an album about this guy one day?
Dude, in about 30 years, I'm going to write an album about your life, and it's going to have the word cock in it.
Do me a favor. Have the dumbest life ever so I can write a stupid album about it when we're 47.
And I'm going to build this harmony piece around the fact that your wife left you.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. Oh, the wife you haven't met yet? Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to, yeah. Look, it's like a Terminator thing. I come from the future. Dude, I'm going to write a song. I'm going to write an album about you and about your wife and leaving you, and you get divorced, and then you get a surgery, and that would blow your mind.
Dude, you headbutted a pool table. We both know your fucking wife is going to leave you at some point.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and then you know what I'll do? I'll put it to music. That's what I plan on doing.
But at the time, if I came to you in high school, you would totally believe it, because at that time, we were doing crazy shit like that, so it's not that far-fetched. You're like, of course I'm going to end up doing that.
Well, we both were doing dumb things.
I was.
You know what I mean? Oh, please.
I was
pretend you're not.
I was a witness to most of that stuff. Because I even, like, when you tell, well, if you have kids and you start telling stories about when you were young, it's always funny, because always, you're always doing something crazy, but my stories are about you guys. They're not necessarily about me. I don't tell my kids, hey, remember the time I did this, or remember the time I did this. I tell them about their crazy uncles, and they think it's hysterical. I mean, they think it's hysterical. And sometimes I go, we sound like dicks.
Oh, yeah.
And Kristen will even go, yeah, your uncles were really bad people back then. Because there's a different climate now, like with bullying and, with girls and you shouldn't body shame people, and you shouldn't bully people, and there's all this attention.
And these are good things.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And I keep saying, it sounds corny, but I go, man, this would not fly in my day.
No.
It would not fly at all in my day. And then I tell a story about, the time we tied that kid to a tree, and then the kids look at you like, that's not even funny. That's mean.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, it is mean.
Yeah.
But it's really funny, though.
Yeah, me and Mike Scott one time, Mike Casey was going to fight Mar Allen.
Oh, I remember that story.
Yeah, did I tell it on here? I don't know if I ever did.
Yeah, the fight that lasted like 3 hours.
It was 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was this marathon brawl in different locations.
It was like the Quiet Man, but with like two dudes.
Yeah, it was like Ali and Frazier in an afternoon. Yeah. Like they just went to 3 different locations, and they had brawls.
But like in the Quiet Man, where they fought and then they went and got a drink.
Yeah.
And they came back out and fought again. That was kind of the way it was.
Yeah. And Mike Casey, I'll never, dude, to this day, I will never forget him. He's wailing on Mar Allen. And dude, there is just a sound when you punch a back. Like when you
really?
When you punch a dude in the back, it sounds like you kicked a kettle drum. You know what I mean? It is just this fucking rampage, just this empty,
it's
hollow.
Like
it is your future ending. It is this terrible. The sound of everything good coming to an end. It is just this horrible, because the wind kind of gets knocked out, but and again, you're not doing any real damage punching a guy in the back. You know what I mean? You'll leave a nice welt or a bruise.
Yeah.
And he'll feel it in a couple of hours.
Well, it depends how low. You go lower, you're talking kidneys, and then
kidney shots are different. No, I'm talking about
you're talking about like back.
Yeah, the shoulder blade. Like you punch a guy.
Dude.
Just because of that thing where you're in a scramble in a fight, we've all been in a fight, and you're rolling around on the ground, and then you get on top, and you're like, I gotta just start hitting this fucking guy. So you just start throwing punches kind of anywhere.
Yeah. And you end up hitting somebody in the shoulder blade.
Yeah, and you punch them in the back, and it just makes this.
Did you just say everybody's been in a fight?
Of course they have. You know what? That's an interesting point. I'm going to ask this question to you.
Well, but keep that, because last show I did with you, you took issue with the fact that I said every guy probably farted into a tape recorder.
Did I take issue with that?
Yes, you believe that it was too forward of me to suggest that every person has farted into a recorder, and I'm saying that it's probably a good portion of guys have done it.
Okay.
to say everybody's been in a fight and punched somebody in the shoulder blade, I think that's even more remote of
A
happening.
little more minuscule.
Minuscule, yeah.
You take umbrage with that, do you?
Yes. What is umbrage?
What you're taking.
Okay, then I am taking umbrage.
Yeah, well,
What were you gonna ask me?
I'm going to ask you this. Because I was once in a fight that you were at. I've told that story on the show with the Andrew guy, the guy from Andrew.
Oh, you're fat, I'm skinny. Didn't he say that?
We were chanting at him. We were saying all sorts of terrible shit to him. But we were making...
No, the actual fight wasn't he egging you on? And I somehow remember him saying, you're it could be a different fight.
No, it was he was jawing at me, and that was the thing, because I let him destroy me verbally, because I verbally destroyed him in the stands.
Oh, yeah.
But then I thought I would be a tough guy in the actual fight and just kind of stare him down, and then he just fucking kept ripping me.
And we weren't. That wasn't our school. We were at another school.
We were at the Romeoville football
That's
game.
right. Okay, we were at Romeoville, and they were playing Andrews.
Yes.
Right? Okay, now I remember.
Yeah, I don't even know why the fuck we went, but we went to watch the game. But do you remember?
Yes.
Handing me a knife.
But yes, I do remember handing you a knife, but I remember it under different circumstances. Not that it's going to excuse my behavior. But at the time, I remembered us being really outnumbered. Because
there were a good 12 of those dudes.
I remember us trying to get out of that situation. Not like, I don't remember it as a big square off where there was, like West Side Story, where there's a circle of guys around you and this dude. In my mind, my memory was we went there and we were completely outnumbered, and our buddy Wojcik was on crutches at the time, because we were in no shape to like rumble and do our
group throwdown,
our big dance number.
Yeah.
So my mindset was, let's get out of here, and the only way I could think of getting out of here is to scare the living shit out of 40 dudes, and the only way I could think at the time to do that was to pull out a knife.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thought to have, but it's even weirder when you realize, hey, I have a knife.
True.
Just actually had a knife.
But you know what, though? You're telling your kids these stories. And
I haven't told them the knife story.
Oh, well, but I'm saying you're telling them other stories about us, and they're probably going, I wonder if Dad carried a knife.
Yeah.
Sounds like he might have needed it at some point. Oh, we're getting there, kids. But also in the context of you carrying a knife and thinking we need to scare the shit out of them, I love the idea of you going, I better give Schmitty this knife. Like, I mean...
Yeah, I think it was I honestly think it was a combination of, I want to help, but I don't want to be in a fight. Because I remember thinking, we got to get out of here because we got a guy in crutches. Let's back out in like a triangle formation. We'll back out to the parking lot with Schmitty at the head, like the head pin, and you got the knife. And you're like wielding it and like challenging anybody to attack us as we go to our cars. That's kind of what I remember.
That's what you hoped or you thought would happen.
But what I think really happened is I handed you a knife like it was West Side Story.
Well, you did. You slipped me in, because I had no fucking clue that was coming at all. And you handed me a knife, and you're just like, yeah, just in case. And I'm like, wait a minute. There was no, because if you'd given me, like, if you give me your triangle formation plan with me as the head pin, I understand the knife a little more at that point.
Yeah, I couldn't illustrate it then. I guess I wasn't. I'm not very good at communicating in the moment.
No, you're just like, here's a goddamn knife.
Yeah, I talk slowly when shit gets elevated. I go in the other direction.
Well, I'm sure you had a good plan in your head, but I just
my plan was, let's get out of here because this is going to end bad.
But your plan involved me ventilating like 4 guys from a rival high school.
Yeah, see, I never planned on you actually using it. It was just more of a thing, like guy's got a knife.
Here's a good thing to know about me. You hand me a knife, I'm going to use it. So I'm glad we're getting this out of the way 30 years later.
But then you can't. Is it premeditated then? If we got that kid?
Oh yeah.
I guess it would be. That was dumb. I should have thought that.
And your prints are on the knife too. We're both going down for that.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be the one going down for it. We're in Romeoville, and
a good point.
The guy's got a knife. Yeah, you throw the dark kid in jail.
Yeah. Let's get that dude out of here. Yeah. Here's my question to you though, because you gave me a knife. You had a knife.
Yeah.
And you box, and you've always been. You were the first guy in Shotokan, and then you.
I actually took MMA before they had the word.
That's
MMA.
what I was about to say. You actually with what was his name?
Well, I had the guy's name was Yasunori Matsumoto. He was a Shotokan.
Is that a soup?
Well, it is.
Part of it is.
Part of it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, the dude from A Black Rain had the same name, Matsumoto. the cop that was friends with Andy Garcia before he got his head cut off?
Does that have the longest streak of movies that's ever been on when I've been at your house?
Black Rain?
Yeah. Remember, there was a time.
Yeah.
Every time I would come to David's house, 2-3 times a year.
Yeah.
And then we would spend Friday and Saturday basically sitting up and watching TV and doing nothing.
And Black Rain was on all the time.
And David has every channel. That's the one conceit that he has. He doesn't, literally, because he lives in his house. It's a fortress.
I don't go anywhere.
He doesn't go to the movies. He doesn't do anything. He coaches Val and stuff now in baseball, but those are the only times he leaves the house. For social activity, literally, it's him and his television. And he has all the stars, all the encores, all the showtimes, all the HBOs. He's got every fucking channel you can imagine. So he would just flip. We would always have a movie to watch. Smokey and the Bandit would be on, all these different movies. But for some reason, I got to think it was a 2-year streak that every time I was here, Black Rain would be on.
Black Rain was on all the time.
And we would watch a chunk of it, and we would laugh. We would just go, "Yep, of course." To the point where I started to think you actually had the Black Rain channel. Like I wasn't sure if that, because again, cable has become very specialized these days. I wasn't sure if Michael Douglas had bought some sort of media company, or Andy Garcia had jumped in and they said, "You know what? We need to put Black Rain on at all goddamn times."
You made the rain black.
maybe the guys who made that jacket, like the leather guys, they had a Black Rain channel. But yeah, so that's got to be the longest streak, right?
There was another loop. You would come home, you would come over, and it would always be on, and I can't think of what it is. But getting back to what you were going to ask me about Matsumoto, he was a full contact fighter, and he was in the Shidokan discipline, which had its headquarters in Chicago. Now Shidokan is like bare knuckle fighting, karate fighting, but it's still karate. Okay. He went off on his own and decided to teach hybrid stuff. Like he combined jiu-jitsu with Thai boxing and American boxing and karate. So it was MMA, but they didn't have a name for it then. Because this is right around the time of the first UFC. So this had to be, what, 93, 94?
Yeah, I think 93.
Yeah. So
94 was the first UFC, but you were training it even before then. Because you got the
94
tape.
was 94 I was already... Yeah, it was 94 I started training with him, and that was a huge wake-up call to the, I hate to say that, uselessness of traditional martial arts. Because I had previously taken a Korean art, and I hated it. It was so choreographed and ridiculous. But anyway, what were you going to ask me about?
Well, first I'm going to ask you this. With your stellar background, do you think if Sally Iavito from our high school came and challenged you to a fight right now, you'd be able to take her? Because remember she took a Shinru karate all through our high school years. And that was the whole story, was that Sally Iavito was like, she was tough, and she was as tough as a guy.
Well, see, that's the one thing I learned, is that all that nonsense doesn't really matter in a real fight, and that's what the UFC proved. And you remember back when they had the beginning of the UFC, there wasn't any rules. So it's not like now. So back when there's no rules, it doesn't matter if you know karate or taekwondo. If somebody grabs you and throws you to the ground, you're screwed. So that's what I learned then, is that, you got to learn how to defend yourself on the ground, because, it's great to do a flying spin kick. It looks really awesome, and if you're a turtle, it looks really cool. But when are you ever going to see? Have you ever seen that in an alley? Somebody jump up and do a triple spinning back kick in an alley street fight?
Wouldn't it be awesome?
It would be great.
Yeah, that would be the greatest thing of all time. Now, I'm going to say this. Answer my fucking question.
Yes, what is your question?
Could you take Sally Iavito in a fight?
I would never fight a woman.
What?
I sparred with a woman at black belt karate in Shidokan, and I made her make a girly noise, and I was pretty proud of that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because she was teeing off on me.
I did that in a movie theater.
Yeah, but I had my pants on at the time.
Oh, I see. Okay, good.
I had a full gi going.
I wasn't sparring. Yeah. I was not trying to score any points.
You were full contact.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
So you actually, was she?
She was a lot like Sally, the girl you mentioned. She was very in shape, thin. She was a black belt, and we had to spar. And this is full contact sparring. Boxing gloves and a cup and headgear and everything. And she was just teeing off on me, because I didn't have the cardio.
Yeah.
So I'm she's hitting me, but she's not really hurting me. And finally, I got pissed off, and I threw her right into her solar plexus, and she just went.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but at the time it wasn't. I felt bad, but later on I go, that was kind of cool.
Well, that's a rough place to hit a lady, because ladies have more ribs than us.
They do?
I believe so. Isn't that correct?
Oh, because they took one of ours to make one of them, right?
Yeah, some sort of the Bible or something like that.
That's true. That actually happened.
Yeah, that stuff's happening. We know. Just ask.
So I don't know if I could take Sally Iavito in a real fight.
Well, I've got a surprise for you, sir.
Oh,
Sally?
Jesus.
She just comes running down the stairs in her fucking gi. Dude, a fucking throwdown would be awesome. I talked about that on here. Me and Kevin Sesha one time, I pitched that. There was a show, I was going to fight him.
Oh, you were going to... Yeah.
Literally, I don't know, there was a show that kind of put on all sorts of different things, and I said, dude, what if we fought? Because Kevin boxes and stuff. And I was like, dude,
And you
let's just...
scared everyone, probably.
Oh, I wanted to do it. Well, Kevin and I
No,
were on
everybody
board.
that was writing looked at you and went...
Well, the
"This
book,
guy's
the
nuts."
booker's like, no, we can't do that.
That's- you are crazy,
There was like
son.
weird theater insurance and stuff, and but that would have been totally fun. But Kevin, you know what? I gotta yell at Kevin because Kevin, he knows Freddie Roach and he's trained with him and he's done all that stuff. But he told me Pacquiao had a chance, and I. Because when they announced the fight, he tweeted, he was like, finally. And then I tweeted, I said, he goes, finally, Pacquiao by TKO. And I just wrote, 5 years too late.
Exactly.
Floyd by UD. Yeah. And he texted me back and he's like, no, can't happen.
Yep.
And so then the morning of the fight, I sent him a direct message on Twitter and I go, convince me that Manny can win this fight. And he sent me like 6 messages explaining why he could. And he said,
sure, on
and he's
paper.
like, and I talked to Freddie, and Freddie, their game plan is this, and they're going to do this, and this.
They
and
didn't.
then no. You know why? Because they ballroom danced for 12 fucking rounds. How awful was that goddamn fight?
It was frustrating to watch.
Dude, there was louder noises in the room where I was watching it when people crunched chips. There was no leather landed in that fucking fight. There was nothing. It was so brutal to watch.
The best part of that fight is watching the entourage come into the ring and the Burger King guy
Yes.
is in the background and nobody says anything.
No.
He's just there.
Yeah, it's just accepted pretty much that he's going to be there. And
That would be great. I would, if I was a fighter, every time I came to the ring, I'd have some crazy thing in my entourage, like a mascot, some weird thing, like the Babadook. Like he'd be back there one day, and then there'd be a guy in a Hannibal Lecter mask. The Joker for some reason would be in there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you know those weird fucking. You ever see those like death puppets? By the way, how great is that for a band? We got to name a band. How do we not name a band Death Puppets?
Dude, let me get my guitar.
But they're those. They would when they would protest nuclear testing.
Those giant skulls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are like big ass death puppets, dude. Why wouldn't you have that dude walk out with you?
Oh, dude, what do they do with those? They got to do something with those skulls. They're probably laying around in the closet.
Boy, when you get home from that protest.
You're tired.
You're beat. You're just like, honey, what's for dinner? You got to take your giant skull off.
Do not leave that skull in the dining room.
No, that's what she's furious.
she's totally mad.
Put that in its skull place.
I told you that goes in the garage.
A place for every skull and a skull in every place. Yeah, that is not good. When you get home from that and you got to take a shower, a skull shower. So, all right. So where were we talking?
You were asking me about.
Oh, here's my
boxing.
question.
Right,
so you box now.
Yeah.
You've been involved since I've known you. You've with lapses here and there because of the kids.
Since about 96 is when I started training in anything I could get my hands on.
Yeah, you've
but
been
boxing since I was little.
Right, boxing since you were a little kid, but then you started to really get involved in the hybrid stuff and the MMA stuff and things. And so my question to you: have you ever actually been in a fight
Outside of a ring or the mat?
No, like a fight, like I did, like dumb shit I've done.
The last real fight I was ever in was probably in elementary school, and that those ended quick because
you hid in your hair.
the kids,
You climbed up in your afro and nobody could find you.
I leaned my head down and they'd try to throw a punch and they'd lose their hands and
Well, then they'd find themselves in the wardrobe with the Lion and the Witch. Because your hair was Narnia when we were kids, dude. That was a fucking mib.
I had a serious Hendrix afro.
Yeah, you did.
But no, when I was in grade school, now when little kids fight, elementary school kids fight, it's usually you each grab each other by the shirt and you pull and you push and you pull and it's my fights would be like that. Would start that way. The kid would grab me or grab my shirt and then I would punch them in the face.
I'm sorry, hold on a second. Did you just burp?
No, did I?
Literally, I think you just did in that talk. You did it smoothly and quickly to try to continue.
Well, by
your
all
sentence.
means, bring it up.
Well, I have to.
All right.
Well, that's who I am. I'm
See,
the guy.
I'm not a professional prod announcer guy.
As evidenced by that description. You're none of those things.
I told you before. One of the things I was afraid of when you asked me to be on the show or whatever. It was like, dude, I Norm Crosby the shit out of stuff. I don't speak well in under pressure situations, but yeah, I might have. There might have been a little
That might have happened. Well,
Yeah.
because you went and you smoothly executed it and went on.
Yeah, if
But
I
when
had
you-
a little cough button on this thing, I would have probably.
You'd have
Oh, by
dumped
the
it?
way, we're gonna have to stop in like 50 seconds and switch this disc because I'm still doing the zip disc thing.
50 seconds. Let me ask you this. How interesting for the listener would it be if we just counted down? Like literally from like 38.
Well, you're close. It's 41 now.
Okay.
Right.
Well, we should have stopped at 40.
Yeah, we probably
Symmetry.
So you asked me if I've ever been in a fight, and I'll finish telling you that story right after this break.
We'll be back.
I was dreaming of the past, and my heart was beating fast. I began to lose control. I began to lose control. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was feeling insecure. You might not love me anymore. I was shivering inside. I was shivering inside. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was trying to catch your eyes. Thought that you was trying to hide. I was swallowing my pain. I was swallowing my pain. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. Oh, I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy, look out. I'm just a jealous guy, watch out. I'm just a jealous guy.
Go.
All right, disc 2.
Yeah, this is.
I guess we'll call it.
Yeah, thanks everybody for offering to send me discs and stuff. I've got enough to probably do a couple more of these, and then I'm gonna learn how to use my pewter.
And then you're going to quit.
Yeah, because then you're gonna ask me
Literally.
to edit everything and loop your voice.
Yeah,
and,
why not? Well, let me ask you this. Are you recording over our older show with this newer show?
No, I actually am recording over the backing music of something from the interlude.
Oh, okay.
I think it was the Peter Gabriel song. Which,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's already been mastered and it's already on the interlude and it's out there, so there's no reason for me to hold on to it. So.
I see. Not even for when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame comes calling and they want your early
Yeah, they're
fledgling
going to
work.
really want to hear all those bongos.
When they open the Mike Schmidt wing,
And they're going to say, who's that guy on congos?
literally, they're like, there's been music written about women for centuries. This guy wrote 80 songs about one dude. Like, why?
And his penis.
Yeah, that seems crazy. Well, I'll tell you what, though. You guys don't know. So continue
So I've never
telling
been
me-
I've never been in a fight in adulthood because I'm really non-confrontational. I usually see trouble coming a mile away, and I just get away from it.
Well, I know that because when we've been out, because you don't even like when I talk to checkers at the grocery store. You seem to think that I'm.
Well, that's an anxiety thing because I'm not like that, and you're like sometimes you engage people just for the sake of the performance art of it.
A little bit, just to find out what they're going to say.
And I can tell.
Yeah.
And to me, sometimes it seems like you're kind of patronizing them, and they don't get it. And that's what makes me uncomfortable.
But I'm really not making fun or patronizing.
Well,
I'm talking to them in that context, but also it's fun to fish and see how people are going to react and what they're going to do.
You even said it on the air. You'll look over and you'll get their name from their name tag, like Sheila or whatever. You're like, Sheila, how are you? I'm here to get some ham. I want to know. That's how you talk to them. And I just go, I'm going to go down the aisle. I don't want to be around because it's awkward for me.
That was from our trip to Sheila's ham store.
Yes, the Sheila hams. But if you're right. If you stick around long enough, if I have the courage to stay there, you will get a gem from one of these cashiers or something. Because we were at Jewel at one night, and we were, and you started talking to the cashier. And out of nowhere, she goes, you know what? I miss Bozo.
Yep. She misses Bozo.
I miss Bozo. You remember Bozo Circus?
Well, because we were talking about growing up in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because she said, I said, I don't live here any longer. And she said,
That's
oh, you're
right.
from
Okay.
here. That's where it grew out of. Because I said, I grew up here and I said, I moved to California and I haven't been back in a while, but I come back periodically. And that's why I didn't have a number for their discount card. That's exactly what it was.
But that's how you talk to them. And it makes me go, I can't even keep up with this conversation. I'm going to go over here with the guy with Down syndrome loading your groceries. I'm much more comfortable in that arena because it's quiet and, everything's peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll lurk. You'll do. It's like that.
Dude.
But you don't. I mean, you don't apologize, which is good. I'll tell you what. I did something fucking stupid once, and I'll tell you this. What once? By the way,
Today.
Yeah, no kidding.
I miss Bozo.
Here's something I did because again, talking about the engaging people and the talking and the saying of the names.
Yes.
I did this once. Jill and I went to the Wisconsin Dells for my birthday. Okay. And Jill got me a trip there. My birthday last year was it was incredible. Because I went by Jill. She got me a peanut butter and jelly cake.
Ooh.
Dude. And she went to a bakery. She did the fucking legwork on it. Like, she went to a bakery and asked them if they could somehow make it. They had never attempted one. She told them what she wanted. And they made a really tall one. They wrote "Happy Birthday, Mike." They came by and delivered it. And let me tell you this. Here's how fucking weird I am. She was texting for a surprise. And she's and I'm like, who are you texting with? And she's like, nothing. And I'm just like, fine. And I got literally, dude, I got to get over that crazy. I'm obsessed with this woman and I need to just back off.
Yeah. You remember when I did I made the hostage joke?
Yeah.
I want you to do me a favor and see if this is true. Go on to Facebook and look at almost every photograph you've ever posted of the two of you. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you 80% of those photographs, your arm is between us, the viewer and the camera, and you guys.
Yeah, because mine.
I'm just saying. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Mine.
Yeah. I'm just, we're not trying to steal anything.
Well, I don't know. I don't fucking know that at all.
Okay.
That's
I'm just saying. It's always let's smile for this picture, but here's my forearm.
I think all of this, literally, the pictures are always like, look how beautiful this woman is. And there's a guy going, don't go. Please don't go.
No, it's almost like, come on. You're almost going like, you can look. You go ahead, look. Just stay there and look.
We went to the Dells for my birthday, which was really, I mean, again, it was fucking incredible. We wound up going, I don't know if I talked about this. We went to a place called the kohlrabi or the Kalahari, not the kohlrabi. That's
kohlrabi?
A lettuce. Yeah, that's a fucking lettuce, I think. Kohlrabi's a vegetable, but we did not go to a vegetable.
Isn't that where the Miami Dolphins play?
It may be.
Oh.
Kohlrabi Stadium.
Yes, I thought.
That's where I saw the Super Bowl.
Okay.
We went to the Kalahari, which is a water park and hotel experience extravaganza.
You do a lot of shit on your birthday.
Dude, let me tell you something. I have wait a minute. All right, I shouldn't even say it. I've already found out she gave me my birthday present last week.
That's the thing that I'm amazed at is I don't know if it's just being single or not having kids, but you grown-ups don't usually care about. You guys have like kid birthdays.
Yeah.
You know that people our age don't do that, right?
I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's kind of a huge difference between, I got a sword and a cool shirt.
Well, this is exactly.
And you're going on trips. You're underwater.
I don't want to say what I got for my birthday yet this year, but it's fucking incredible. I mean, she last week she gave it to me, and I'm just
human sacrifice.
She handed me 10 bags. And she's just like,
You're burying dead guys for your birthday?
I'm just pulling stuff out, man.
10 bags of 10 presents?
Yeah. And literally all the only thing I want for my birthday again is just sex in a movie theater with her. That's literally it. And I didn't even my birthday. I want that for Memorial Day and fucking Boxing Day in Canada. I don't even care. Yeah. I just want her naked, like everywhere.
Yeah, but don't you see if you do that all the time, then when the special holidays come up, where do you go from there?
Well, you do it upside down. You do it elsewhere. And dude, no, it would never not be special. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just saying, the specialty of it being your birthday kind of wears off when you've already done it because it was Tuesday.
I've been eating pizza for 47 years. I still love it.
All right. So what we learned is you compare your love life to your food.
Well, you want to get into that?
No.
All right.
All right.
Here's the dumb thing.
I eat pizza.
Now, why are you doing me as a meathead? Why are you in
No, I take that back because I think it was Paul Newman had one of a really great quote about why he was married to
Joanne Woodward
forever. Mm-hmm. And they asked him, how did you do that? And he goes, hey, why should I go out for hamburger when I got steak at home?
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm on board with the food thing.
And now I have steak, and I want to just wrap my arms around it and eat it everywhere.
Yeah, but you don't bring your steak to someone else's place and eat it in front of them.
Fuck yeah, I do. Are you kidding me?
That would be great.
I'm going to put my steak on a goddamn fishing pole and dangle it in front of you, and then we're just going to swallow it whole.
He might come over. We're going to watch the game. Okay, I'm bringing my steak.
Yeah, and we're going to go to work.
No, we're going to have chips.
Yeah, well, no, fuck that.
No, I'm bringing my own steak.
I'm good. My mouth's busy. Here's the dumb thing I did last year, again, because I don't think. You know what I mean? And I'm just used to kind of being me and being glib and just kind of talking, as you know. And I do that with service professional type people where I'll say hi and we'll engage them and we'll get their name and I'll get a waiter's name or a waitress's name. And it's funny because Jill at this point now has kind of gotten used to it, but even she'll just go, okay, honey. Like that's that thing where, because again, she's from a town of 4. Like literally it was her and her parents and her siblings and then and ghosts. Like literally it was just, it's open prairie in fucking Wisconsin. That's all it was. So she grew up in this small town and then everybody kind of knows one another. Uh-huh. And so she's always kind of, she sees me, but again, she's seen me. All right, I'm spinning off here. She'll see me engage people in a good way, but she also saw me throw my fucking wallet across a hotel lobby because a guy pissed me off. You know what I mean? And she'll come up and she'll rub my back. It's just so weird to date the Hulk. It must be so fucking strange to see me explode over something stupid. And I'm trying to change that about myself.
You are?
I really am. I know. It's so funny to think that I am and then it still fucking happened.
Then why are you wearing purple pants?
That are torn.
Yes. Or soon to be torn.
Yeah, indeed. So she was with me. We're at the Dells. And here's something I did again. It was really fucking dumb. The girl helping us was, I don't know, Molly or something. And I walked up and I'm like, Molly, how are you? And
see, that's right. Check right out.
And Jill's right there with me.
Yeah.
And Molly is a young girl.
Yeah.
And here's the reason I do this with people. Because I've worked in the service industry. And so I've been me on the other side of the counter and dealt with terrible people.
But before you go on, you've been on the other side. Do you remember, have you ever been patronized?
But I'm not patronizing.
I'm not saying you are. I'm saying your intentions are good. But I've seen it where you've been Mike to people and they're just not ready for it because they're so used to being shit on.
Well, yes.
That they're instantly defensive when around you. You're like, they take your cheer and your goodwill as false.
Well, I'm just arrogant enough to think that my bringing myself into their life is going to change it and make it a little better.
And that's when I walk to the pasta aisle. Because I see the conflict and you're just like, you're performing.
Well, I'm me.
Exactly.
And I'm going to be mean no matter what the fuck. You know what I mean? And I figure, honestly, as you know, again, it's arrogant and it's going to sound ridiculous. The greatest gift I can give you is being myself with you because I'm great. And so we will get along. And To a certain extent, yeah.
No, and I have seen it work in your favor.
Yes.
I have also seen it not work in your favor.
Well, yeah, but I've walked away unscathed.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because I'm still me, and who gives a fuck? And if you didn't want to deal with this, if you don't want this gift, if you want to unwrap me, then that's fine.
Because sometimes you don't get I'm his bozo.
Exactly.
If you're just cordial and quiet and don't engage people like I do. No cashier ever said to me, I'm his bozo.
Well, no, because you're hiding behind a fucking. You're literally like you're Emo Phillips at a bus stop. Like, I mean, you're just hiding and like giving like a one finger wave and just paying your money and you like. Here's who you are at the grocery store. All right, you won't even bother with the discount card because you're not sure if you have one. And I'm like, well, just give me your phone number. You're like, I don't want to talk to these fucking people.
You know who I am? I'm De Niro when he's at the counter. Mm-hmm. And that girl Edie sits next to him. Why are you so interested in me? You know, I don't mean to be. I just am. So what did you do to the girl in the Dells?
Well, I'm like, hey, Molly, and and she's like, all right, so you guys, and she was pleasantly surprised to be engaged by someone who wanted to speak to her.
Sure.
So I'm talking, and Jill's just kind of standing there, and I'm talking to Molly, and Molly's talking to me, and I'm just being me. Granted, a little more amped up version of me than you get, but still I'm talking. And Molly's like, well, I'll tell you what, we've got the water park and we've also got the indoor water park. But the thing is, you guys are here, and I didn't know because Jill booked the whole thing. Yeah. And Jill had arranged for us to have everything. And the girl goes, you know what? It's a little extra for the indoor water park. And I said, well, you know what? It's my birthday. Does that count for anything here, Molly? Mm-hmm. And she goes, it's your birthday. Oh my gosh, unbelievable. And she goes, hold on. She goes to the back. Yeah. And she, again, the ludicrous idea that a 47-year-old man would say, it's my birthday, is foolish. But I don't give a fuck. I'm with my girlfriend. I'm in love. I'm happy. Everything's great. And she made this trip happen. It's fucking cool. Because I'm not a birthday guy. I think you know that. I've never been that dude. I don't really care that much about it to me until Jill, because Jill does birthday week. And so now she makes a big deal out of mine, which makes me happy. And I want to make hers the best. And it's fucking fantastic. So Molly comes back and she goes, you know what? I just went and checked in the back. I'm just going to give you the indoor water park. It's your birthday, and you got indoor, you got outdoor, you got access to everything. And I said, I looked at Jill, and I'm like, this is great. And I'm talking to Molly, and Jill's just kind of standing there. Again, she's you in this equation. And
no, because she wouldn't be standing there.
Well, she actually was a little removed.
Well, I'm just saying, there's a different dynamic between being there with your girlfriend and being there with your friend. I had the luxury of being able to walk away and go somewhere else completely because I need to vanish. Well, see, she's kind of got to be there because your guys are together.
True, but I didn't recognize that I was kind of, because I was in full on me mode with Molly. My beautiful girlfriend, who I'm in love with, is standing there, and I'm not looking at her, and I wasn't really paying, I wasn't talking to her. I kind of glanced at her a couple times to be like, hey, isn't it cool that we got this? And then I tractor beamed in on Molly to get more stuff and talking, and it was showtime. It was monkey hour. You know what I mean? So I'm doing that. David Lee Roth used to call it monkey hour when he would sit with his family at the dinner table, and then he would just talk for an hour and a half for 2 hours. He called it, and the family just went, well, it's Dave's monkey hour, and they'd let him do whatever he wanted. So for me, it was monkey hour. So then Molly's like, all right, and you got to fill this out. You got to sign your name. You got to give me this credit card for incidentals. You got to do this. And she goes, all right. And she goes, and how many room keys do you need? And I go, you know what? We need 2. And she goes, 2. And I go, you know what? 3. Throw one in there for yourself, Molly.
Oh.
And it's just a standard joke I've always kind of done. I've always done it in hotels. I've always done it as a goof. I've always done it to be silly. And then it gets a laugh out of the person, or they'll make a face or whatever, and they walk away.
I think that's creepy, though. Don't you think that's creepy?
Well, no, because I've already established that I'm me and funny. I'm not, you know what I mean? It's like, to me, I'm with my girlfriend. You see she's here. You know I didn't mean it. We're all having fun. It's just
that's a big assumption on the general public. All right, go ahead.
Well, it's also a pretty big assumption on the part of my girlfriend, who has never seen that version of monkey hour. You know what I mean? Where
when you offer a complete stranger your
a 23-year-old girl working at the counter a room key.
Yeah, that's
And again, literally, it's just shorthanded silliness that I would just do. It's like I do it whenever I go for food. They'll be like, "What do you want?" And I go, "Well, I need toast and I need hash browns." And you know what? Get whatever you want. You know what I mean? It's just a dumb thing to do.
Yeah.
Like at a restaurant or anywhere where you'll say, hey, throw a little something on there for yourself. You know, it's just that's from a movie that I cannot remember, by the way, where a guy's filling out a check. He's like, you know, I'll take this, and you know what, throw a little something on there for yourself. I think it's Caddyshack, maybe.
Well, are you thinking about Weird Science when they were buying the perfume and they told the sales girl to set herself up with one?
You know what, that might be it. Yeah. It's just one of those things where you're like, I'll take 2 of these and 3 of these, and you know what, put a little something on there for yourself. You know, it's just dumb. And I said it. Yeah. And I was like, you know what, get one of those for yourself.
You were performing.
Yes, I was.
Yes.
I was just being that. And she laughed, of course, tee-hee, and everybody's having fun. The band, and they brought out a crown and a cake, and everybody's all happy. A crown, a cake, and a royal family. They brought it all out. So I signed everything. We finished it all up, and I turn around, and Jill is there, and has shrunk. She literally has shut down, and she's just kind of looking at the ground. And I'm like, I go, honey, let's go. You know, I'm excited. We can get upstairs. And we start walking, and she's not talking to me, and she's not looking at me.
Yeah.
And I will say this: I know instantly when something's wrong.
You knew you screwed up.
Well, I also know instantly that it had to be me. Like, I mean, because she was standing by me. I know I must have done. And this is, you know, fairly early in our relationship. You know what I mean? So we go walking to the elevator, and she's quiet. And she's not saying anything. And we have a thing in elevators where we get naked. No, it's not really naked. But whenever the door closes, you know, I'll wind up making out with her until the door opens.
No.
Yes. So we get in the elevator, and I kind of, it happens, but it's kind of half-hearted. And we get in the room, and she looks at me, and she's like, and I said, hey, and finally I had to.
Yeah. What?
And I said,
problem, officer?
Yeah, because I knew, and I go, honey, something's up. What happened? Everything was great when we valeted the car, and now everything's changed in 15 minutes. What happened? Mm-hmm. And she said, do you know that you offered to give that woman a room key? Or girl. She said girl.
Yeah.
Do you know you offered that girl a room key? And I went, what? But not really. And she goes, no, you did. You said to her, you know, to make 2 room keys, one for me and one for you. And then he said, you know what, make a 3rd for yourself.
Yeah.
And she laughed, and you laughed. And I'm standing there like basically an idiot as you flirted with that girl and told her to get a room key. And it's one of those revelations that I have where I told you my whole life has been about me. Yeah. I don't have kids. I've never had to make that decision. I've never had to sacrifice anything for anybody. I've never had to think of anyone else ahead of myself. So I can engage people and talk like that and be silly. And I don't really think, I think everybody, here's the thing. This is the good way to put it. I think everybody should just realize I'm Mike and I'm awesome. And I'm doing that dumb shit, and it's funny, and I meant it to be funny.
This is probably my fault. I never should have gave you your own theme song. I mean, that's obviously a contributing thing here.
It changed everything. Yeah. But yeah, so to me, because again, if I think about it, mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because again, in the moment, I'm just being me and being silly and being fun. And it's a thing I've done forever. It's a thing I've done forever, just to be goofy.
Yes, you're right. But this is also the early part of a relationship. Now, I just imagine myself doing the same thing you did with my wife standing there, and I think I could get away with it. But I've also been with my wife for 32 years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
That's
I'm just trying to get a gauge on this, and I'm just like, that'd be a tough sell if you were just in a fairly new relationship.
Well, here's a better, not a better way, but a different way, because that's a great way for you to put it. Absolutely. If in a 32-year relationship, because then your wife can just roll her eyes and go, whatever. You know,
because she would think it's funny, but at this point. But you know, I couldn't pull that off with.
But also because you're kind of a toothless lion at this point. You know what I mean? She's been with you 32 years. You guys are together, and that's it. Well, Jill and I are still learning about each other. So she sees me do that, and she fucking, and so when I hurt her, and I truly didn't mean to. I thought I was being silly, and I thought I was being funny, but it's because I've never thought of anybody but myself. So I've always just been glib and fucking stupid and said whatever the fuck I wanted and not really cared about it. But when I thought about it. If she had done that,
oh, dude, yeah,
I would still be punching the desk clerk. Like literally a year later, I would have gone over the counter after that motherfucker. Because I tell you what, I have sat through so many people hitting on Jill, And it's the weirdest fucking thing for me. It's the weirdest thing for me to put up with.
But I know you. Do you think they really were, or is it kind of one of those things where not that she wouldn't be hit on, but that you interpret things in a way where everybody's hitting on her and they might not actually be?
6 of one,
All right.
half a dozen of the other. I will tell you this: it is a lot of me being, again, the photograph. No,
You've got your
mine,
arm,
mine.
You've got
Don't
your
go
arm
anywhere.
around her, and now your arm's not around her, so that means everyone is.
Yes.
But even that's egocentric, though. Don't you see that? Ooh, I think I just uncovered something.
What are you doing? What are you uncovering?
I went all Melfi on you.
All righty. Meaning?
Yeah. It has to be about you. So, if you're with your girlfriend and some guy starts talking to her, they're engaged in conversation, even as harmless as it is or whatever. But all of a sudden, it has to be about you. So you project this thing where he's hitting on her. So now you have to do this, and you have to protect, and you have to get mad, and it becomes another performance.
A lot of that is true, and I would agree with that. But I'm also not wrong about guys hitting on her.
Oh, I'm not. I don't. No, I know.
Because
yeah,
but I also at the same time, if a guy is friendly to her, I vibrate inside and I want to fight.
Sure.
It's this weird thing, and I've tried to verbalize it to her and go, listen, this is not about you so much as it is about me. Because she'll say, "What do you expect?" I mean, I'm just talking and I'm being friendly, and I'm like, I know, but I'm still trying to fucking learn how to deal with that.
And I'm not trying to be all like judgmental. I'm only saying this because I'd done the same thing myself.
Yeah.
But that, I was a lot younger then. When I was in my 20s and late teens, I'm a pretty jealous dude. I just was. And part of that is, you look around and you go, how did I convince this girl to go out with me? That's really what it comes down to.
That's how I feel about it. I mean, she's so out of my fucking league.
Exactly. I'm the same way. I'm like, how did this happen? No, this is. Yeah.
You can't believe your luck, and you're waiting for it to fucking run out.
And
literally,
you're just like, wait, somebody's gonna wake up here and see the Billy Joel Christy Brinkley thing.
No
here.
kidding.
Yeah, you gotta get out of here.
Yeah, why are you dating a foot? I mean, seriously. She's so gorgeous and she's perfect and all of these great things, and then I don't know why it's funny, I'll verbalize that to her, and she'll look at me and she'll
you're
be like,
just being nice.
well, no. I'm saying the thing about, like, eventually
okay.
you'll realize that you're with, the fucking goof, and she'll just be like, honey, I'm like, why? It'll be these moments where she has to kind of convince me, and I'll have to convince her. I tease her all the time. We're both at a starting line, but we're facing opposite directions.
She's in the Malaccas, Dino.
We're waiting for the gun to go off so we can sprint away from one another. It's like this weird thing, and it's just. I'll tell you this story. This happened, and again, because like I say, I'm trying to deal with it in a way.
This isn't a sex story, is it?
No, I won't do that.
All right, thank you.
To Jill, I don't care if you hear it.
Well, I don't want to hear it.
Well, no, but Jill, I'm not ready to be telling sex stories about Jill just yet.
I knew that was coming yet.
Well, because she listens. That's the thing,
Well,
is it's like she's. But I'll tell you, this happened.
Just so I'm clear.
Yes, sir.
This got nothing to do with who you're with or what. It's the fact that I'm a visual guy. I see everything. You tell me a story, it's in my head. I can picture it.
Yes.
I don't want to picture you doing any of that stuff. It gives me the willies.
Because it'll make Vegas really weird for you.
I'll have to carry a gun at all times.
So
I don't want to picture you on the job.
So I've become much better, than I was early on. Like I didn't know how to deal with it, because she's beautiful, and she's also lived in the same place for a really long time, and so I feel like there are guys who've been waiting to take a shot for like 30 years. You know what I mean? And they're, and her boyfriend doesn't live there, so now they all line up and they all take their crack.
But that's a scenario you create that.
To a certain extent. Well, let's put it this way. There's a kernel of it, but I've made it into a fucking forest. You know what I mean?
You have a history of doing that.
Yes, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we're trying to get through. And by we, I mean me. Because, again, she's her and she's perfect. This happened. We went to a thing last year called Fish Days.
Was it in Wisconsin?
Of course it is. So you know what it is. It's literally just a reason for guys to intravenously inject fucking liquor and get destroyed. That's it. That's the whole deal. They close this town down because she lives in a marina town. They close it down. Everybody shows up and they fucking drink at the festival with the live music and the bands and everything until the end, when they close the festival and then the bar's open and everybody drinks until fucking 4 in the morning. Like, literally, it's just because that town, dude, That town is just pickled. I mean, it's fucking crazy. The whole town is W.C. Fields' nose. It's so bad. Everybody's fucking loaded. That you will drive. This is the truth. We would be driving on the freeway, and there are cars parked on the side of the freeway. And I didn't know what I was like, Jesus Christ, you got a ton of mechanical problems here. She goes, no, those guys got pinched for DUI and got taken away, and their car's there. And I'm like, seriously? She goes, it happens all the time. She goes, it happens you'll see these cars. That's exactly what happened. They got pinched and they're waiting to get towed. That's it. And she goes, either that or they've left it there because they knew they were fucking loaded, and they're either sleeping it off in the car or they're waiting to get picked up. So it's just a giant fucking booze barrel, the entire fucking area. And I think we all know how good I am with people getting drunk and booze. Sure. So fucking we go to Fish Days at this thing, and
what if it was just a tribute to Abe Vigoda?
Oh, dude, that theme song was pretty swinging.
Well, Fish Days.
See, I'm in for that. If the Abe Vigoda tribute. I mean, I don't care how much booze there is. I'm in.
Abe Vigoda tribute.
So we go to this thing, and we show up, and this is at a time where I don't really know anybody yet, really, of her friends. I've met a few of them. So they're meeting you for the first time. Oh, I got to finish this. Fuck. So I'm at Lori's last year, dude.
Food. All right.
Yeah. So I'm at Lori's last year, and remember I said that her friends don't like me. Well, Lori and Peter like me. Well, last year, Jill, I figured I had to chop wood to be a part of it. So like you said, it was an adult thing to do. So they had an axe and they had a stump, and I'm like, well, fuck, I'm feeling my oats. I got to jump in here. You got an axe and a stump. I got to start getting to work here, right?
Stump here.
I got to split some fucking logs. So sure enough, I started chopping shit, and then Jill took some pictures. She thought it looked ridiculous, probably.
Was it like also, prison chopping? Like, oh brother, where art thou chopping? Or were you doing a full lumberjack thing where you had the whole pose down and you were doing the?
It was kind of a combination because I was doing the lumberjack thing, but at the same time I was also doing like the rhythmic chanting.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I did it on the back of a railroad car, and I was wearing Dapper Dan. So. Because fuck fop, right?
You're a Dapper Dan man.
You're damn right I am. So I take the axe and I'm chopping, and she took a photo of me because the axe stuck in the log. Yeah. And I lifted it up and I held it like a baseball bat, and I'm holding the thing, and so she put the picture on Facebook.
Yeah.
Just to be silly, she's like, my boyfriend or whatever, the woodsman, or welcome to Wisconsin, something silly. And someone she knew wrote, "What a douchebag."
Seriously?
Some guy she knows. And so she saw it. She didn't tell me. I didn't see it. She didn't tell me, but she deleted it.
All right.
And then that guy's wife wrote, "Yeah, what a fucking douchebag," and liked his comment, and then wrote a follow-up when his was deleted. And
these are her friends?
They're people she knows. But they were her friends until me.
Yeah.
And they made a value judgment that they didn't want to.
What did you do to make them hate you?
I chopped the. Oh, you mean in the photo? There was that.
Well, I know they.
I'm not from there.
Did they already prejudge you, or did you do something at the wood thing?
I never met them. No, it was a photo of me holding an axe with a log, and they decided, what a douchebag, what a fucking douchebag.
That's either really judgmental, or they just know a lot about the way you gripped an axe,
or they listen to this show.
Could be.
So I think it's more judgmental because again, it's a small
you're not
area.
A douchebag.
No, I'm a decent guy. Yeah. Unless you're a checker, apparently, from your standpoint.
I'm his bozo.
So that's kind of the vibe. You know what I mean? Because I'm the outsider. She's known all of these people for years and years and years. And some of them are really cool to me. But some of them want nothing to do with me, and some of them have decided that I'm a jerk.
Now, is there a flip side to that coin? Because, you brought Jill to the Christmas party, and I thought we had a ball.
We did.
Are we being dicks?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I'm trying to think. Did we?
No. And usually that's kind of. I'll say that to her. I'm like, because I was nervous bringing her to the reunion, and I was nervous bringing her here because we're fucking awful. I mean, like you said to your kids.
Yeah.
Your uncles were really mean, and they weren't nice guys.
No,
So to bring anybody new into our environment is it's petrifying sometimes.
I can imagine it would be very, very intimidating until you realize that once you're inside, it's pretty cool.
Well, that's how I feel about it. And she did too. She had a great time at the reunion. She loved it. She really had fun. And dude, let me put it this way. All right. Here's how you know how special Jill is. Because she's still dating me after
meeting
playing
Dennis.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
Holy shit.
I didn't mean to step on your thing, but I kind of knew what you were going to do there.
Literally, after 90 minutes of Cards Against Humanity with Dennis, and she stuck around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because again, we sat at the table.
That's usually
and
the
he
deal
was,
breaker.
Holy, because he's we're all jagoffs, but he's weapons grade jagoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's gloves off.
And I'm a fan. I love him. The guy would do anything for him. He would do anything for us. I've known him for fucking centuries, and he's perfect to me. I mean, he's everything I would want him to be. He's a stroke. We're all strokes. But dude, she sat at the table and she politely got through it. She wasn't entertained by it. But again, like I talked about Cards Against Humanity here on the show, if I want to say ass cancer, I'll just say ass cancer. I don't need to pull a card out of a deck for an excuse.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't have ass cancer in their vocabulary.
True. You know what I mean? And so when they play that game and they're like, this is outrageous and fun. And I'm like, that's Tuesday. I mean, what the fuck?
I'm making my own cards.
Exactly. And I could make much worse cards than this.
Yeah.
So, but when she sat there and played it, and then afterwards, we drove home and she slept because she actually had to fucking work
you guys
the
had to
next
go.
day. Yeah. But we stayed late. We stayed really late.
You did.
And she had
I was told.
Yeah, you were out of it, dude. But she had a really, I thought she had a lot of fun. She said she did, certainly. And that was the thing is I told her, I go, if you're with me, you're in. Like, they love you. It's no, because she was worried, man. I'm not gonna lie.
The first time I met her, you told me, what did you say? She's scared of you?
I said, yeah.
I'm like, why? What did I ever do?
Yeah, but it's because she doesn't.
Because I'm mean to other people. That's probably why.
Well, you're kind of a misanthrope, and that you've cultivated that, certainly.
Yeah.
That's your deal, and so also she knows you from social media, so she should know who the fuck you
Jesus,
are, really.
I'm sorry about that then.
That's my point. You know what I mean? You're posting every atheism fucking thing in the world and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway,
Don't get me started.
But then what I'm saying, she came to us, you know, and also she's heard this show from the jump.
Yeah, there you go. She does have a bit of a.
So she knows all of these guys are fucking jagoffs, and me hitting the guy on the back on the bicycle, and us starting the fight at fucking Springsteen. Like, she knows all that ridiculous shit that we did. And now it's she's friends with the people she went to high school with and stuff. And so,
see, I forget sometimes that our deal is not the norm. I really have a distorted, like, when I was working downtown, we'd start talking about, what are you guys doing this weekend? I'd say, I'm going out with these guys, I've known them since, because you still hang out with you guys from high school? I go, that's all I hang out with. I'm like, I don't even know I don't even know anybody from it's a rare thing, and it's got to be really intimidating to come into that situation where these people have all known each other for 30 years.
Yeah.
But nobody, the people that didn't like you on her end, I mean, there's nobody on our side that would ever call her a douchebag for chopping wood wrong. Is there?
No.
Yeah.
No. And that's the thing.
So it turns off we're pretty good guys anyway. Yeah.
So I think what we're decided that she needs to get here and chop some fucking wood.
You can chop wood in our backyard. We won't make fun of you.
Anytime she wants. But that's the deal, is it's also, we're all, like I told her, I said, if you're with me, you're in. Like, we're all in, because we're fucking idiots, and that's who we are, kind of. But we've been idiots together for such a long time, but we all love one another and would do anything for one another. But but we can also appear fucking people on the outside. We're just a fucking rolling ball of nails. You know what I mean? And I get that. But on the interior, it's like, hey, it's warm in here. Come on in. It's fun.
It's almost kind of like the mob. That whole thing in Goodfellas where I think it's Karen Hill's doing the voiceover about the we only went to each other's houses. We only that's how it was for a really long time.
Yeah.
And we found out somebody made a new friend. You're like, well, what are you doing that for?
Who's that guy?
Yeah, because we had to make friends with our neighbors, I guess.
Both you and Jeff. Hey, I got all the friends I need.
I don't need any more friends.
I don't need any more new friends. And that's why there's a great speech at the end of Clerks 2, where Randall says, and he goes, I know you. I don't fucking want any more friends. Yeah. I'm like 35. What the fuck am I going to do? And I've said that to Jill too. I'm like, that's the thing is I'm 50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so,
but you probably went into her social circle trying to be,
and
nice.
Some of them are great, but some of them are fucking dickbags. You know what I mean? And that's just the way. And also, you know what? Some of my friends are dickbags too.
All of your friends are.
Well, that's a good point. So we go to this fish day.
Yeah, I was going to say the fish day thing.
And this is my coming out sort of to like a big group of people that she knows. Like, I mean, I met people piecemeal here and there, but they knew of me through social media. And on the way in, I meet her friend Joey. and he's got a wife, and they, you know, and I won't lie, she hugs Joey, and I immediately get my hackles up, like, what the fuck are you hugging Joey for? You know, and I won't lie, I got that in me. I got to get out of me. But then I meet Joey and the wife, and everything's great, and they're cool, and we go down to Fish Day, and we meet some people. We went to see, she's gonna kill me because we saw a musical comedian, and he's a guy who plays all over the fucking place. And he was great. Pat McGann, Pat something. Fuck.
That's a long ass name.
Yeah, it fits on the marquee. But he was great. So we had a good time. So then we're standing there talking, and a friend of hers comes over, and he's got a guy with him. And he's your clam diggers and fucking sleeveless shirt and tattoo barbed wire and bald and fucking goatee. And I stand up, and her friend Peter comes over with his girlfriend Lisa. Yeah. So Lisa starts talking to me, and I see Peter talking to Jill. Jill's still sitting in a chair. She's sitting in her lawn chair. I stood up to meet Lisa because that's, you know, I'm a gentleman.
I do the same thing.
Right. So this guy shakes Jill's hand, and I see him out of the corner of my eye. And he shakes Jill's hand, and I'm talking to Lisa, and she's telling me about, again, literally just unveiling this drama. I've just met this woman, and she's like, oh my God, look at that guy. And then this guy's looking at me, and that guy's over there. And I'm politely listening, and I look over, and this dude will not let Jill's hand go. He's holding her hand, and I can see her. She shakes it, and then he's holding it, and he's talking to her, and I can hear him, and he's like, where do I know you from? Yeah, you're beautiful. Where have I seen you? I know I've seen you. Were you here? No, if you weren't there, you should come here. He goes, come on over, have a drink. Come on over to the bar. And I mean, I'm introduced as her boyfriend. Okay. Yeah. I'm introduced as her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's pretty, yeah.
He won't let her hand go. So finally, I fucking peel the alien of Lisa off of my face, and I turn around, and I'm an inch away from him, and I just put my hand in his chest. I go, I'm Mike. And he goes, yeah, I know. I go, I'm Mike. And I got my hand out, and he had to let go of Jill's hand to shake my hand. And he goes, yeah, okay, hi, nice to meet you. And I go, great. And we talk a little bit, and but I had to basically crowbar myself in. But it was clear what he was doing. He was trying to get her away from me to go have a drink with him at the bar. Just shitbag behavior is what it was.
But here's a question. Could you have waited and see would Jill have done what you did?
I gave it 2 minutes. Where he wouldn't let go of her hand, and she was kind of pulling her hand away, and he wouldn't let go of her hand. And he kept asking, "Where are you from? You should come here. I've seen you here. Let's go here." And I love Jill. Jill is as non-confrontational as you are.
Sure.
So she would not have said, "Hey, let go." You know, she's not that person. She would have just kind of. She thinks it's weird that that's happening, and she'll say to me later, she goes, "That was creepy, right?" And I go, "Yes, it was fucking creepy. So tell the guy it's creepy."
Yeah.
I've told her before. I'm like, and I don't want to get into all of it, but so that happens. Okay. And then he comes over, we're watching this comedian, and he comes over and he sits by Jill. Now I'm on her left. She's on my right. He sits on her right. He doesn't acknowledge me at all. And he leans over to her and he goes, "Hey, here, drink this." He brings a drink over, and she goes, "No, I don't." What do you, and he goes, "No, here, you got to sip this." And I go, "Dude," "we're fine." And he goes, "No, it's really good. Come on here." And he goes to put the drink in the straw in her mouth. And I go, "Dude, enough."
Yeah.
She's not drinking it. You want to drink it? Go away. But she's not drinking that drink. And he just goes, "Oh, well, whatever. I mean, he's fucking sensitive. Fine. You know, that." And I mean, he's a big dude, you know, but I'm not the one, dude. I am not the one to get fucking stepped on. It's not going to happen. So he tried to make her drink this drink, and he didn't even acknowledge me. He went right up to her. He goes, "Here, drink this. Hey, honey, drink this." He's stirring it, and I go, "Dude, enough," because I let her handle it at first.
See, but that's what I mean. Do you think she would have drank it?
She said no. She said, "All right, well, I'll tell you
what
this."
I'm trying to say, though, right?
Yeah, but let me say this. 3 days before this had happened, Jill had been roofied in a bar.
Oh God. What planet are you guys from? None of this stuff. You guys have the weirdest stories.
Literally at the same bar. Okay. She got roofied and called me the next day, and she's like, and her son was home and was like, "Mom, are you okay?" And I mean, it was just, she knew. So 4 days later, he sees her and he goes, "Drink this." And she was like, she said no 3 times. And I let her, again, I can't be the fucking white knight all the time, even though I want to be. So I let her say no a couple times. And then finally I went, "Dude, enough." I go, "Dude, she got roofied in this exact same fucking bar 4 days ago. She's not drinking your drink."
Yeah.
Well, man, whatever. You know, you got to be all fucking sensitive. I go, dude, I'm serious. And he's like, fine. And he got up and he walked away.
Good.
Concert ends. We're standing there talking. He comes by with his friend again, and I'm standing there. He doesn't acknowledge me at all. He kind of 3/4 me, and he starts talking to Jill. And it was really nice to meet you. You know, I got a cabin and da-da. And he takes her hand. He goes to shake her hand, and she puts it out, and he takes her hand and he kisses her hand in front of me. I'm standing there. This is the third time he's buzzed the tower, and All right. And I think you know me.
Yeah.
It is all I can do to not eat his fucking heart. Like, I am serious. I wanted to crawl down his fucking throat. I wanted to murder him, Dave.
Look at you go.
I'm not kidding, dude. So sure enough, he fucking kisses her hand. So I shove myself in between the two of them, and I go, nice to meet you. And I put my hand in his face.
Kiss my hand, bitch.
And he looks at me, and I go, nice to meet you. And I made him kiss my fucking hand. I said, yeah, man, you're not passing out kisses without me getting one right now. And he fucking kissed my hand and he walked the fuck away. And I looked at her and she goes, honey, I'm sorry. I go, you didn't do anything. You don't need to apologize for fucking shitbags who are out of line. I go, but you know, I was going to tune that motherfucker up. And she goes, honey, relax. And I go, I seriously, I want to kill him. Like and she's just like, honey, because I'm, you know me, I get swole. I'm like ready. I was ready to fucking, dude, I'm not even kidding. Just tear him apart. And again, it's because I don't need, and that's my own problem. I'm trying to realize it and deal with it. But he was out of fucking line.
Sure. I'm not saying that the situation didn't dictate that, but what I'm saying is that you go into these things in the red. So all it takes is one move and it's all over.
Well, let's contrast that with this. We just went and saw Mad Max, and afterwards, she sees a guy that she used to date. He's in the theater, and she walks up to him, and she gives him a kiss on the cheek and hugs him, and I stand there patiently. And then she goes, this is my boyfriend, Mike, and I shake his hand. I go, nice to meet you, man. And then he, of course, blows me off and tells her how gorgeous she is, or whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, yes, of course. But I was nice. I shook the guy's hand. I said, hey, I was genuinely happy. I'm like, good. It's good to meet you. And granted, I might have fucking put my arm around her waist and fucking deep throat kissed her. I mean, maybe I did that in front of him to go, hey, guess what?
I can picture you got your left arm around her upper shoulders, and you have your right arm around her waist. Yeah.
The bottom line.
The on guard position is what I call it.
Literally, I'm just like, well, I call it the human shield. It's funny you would call it that.
On guard.
I'm using her to protect all of my feelings and keep them inside me. So that's what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm learning how to be different. Now, is there value in being different?
Only if you really are.
You can't act different. You have to change.
You have to be different. You can say, I want to be different. You can deputize everyone in the listening audience, and they're going to give you their feedback. But if you don't do anything, then you're never going to change anything. I didn't mean to get all Dr. Phil on you, but
I appreciate it. No, I'm glad that you did.
I guess I just miss my friend.
I think the bottom line here is that it takes a village to raise a Schmidt.
Cool.
You guys can get me at mikeandmikeschmidtcomedy.com. You guys can be my friend at facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. Our friend David Hernandez, who we're talking about right here, right now, you can go ahead and follow him at facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez, be his friend, or you can go to artbydmh.com, artbydmh.com, and check out his guy cons, check out all the artwork that he has. You can hire him to do personalized artwork for you. Would you like a theme song? Too bad.
You see how the last one worked?
Not fucking happening. But you can go ahead and get him at artbydmh.com and get him to do all sorts of cool artwork and fun stuff for you. That would be great. Our great friend Lily Von Stupp is the producer of this show. You can find her at several different Twitter accounts, twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest, twitter.com/MNTs. But if you'd like to write her a personal note and find out how she didn't laugh once the entire time she's been sitting here in this basement.
Yeah, that's weak.
You can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com. Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 Clubs on Vine at Santa Monica. Go to facebook.com/Monday Night Teas and become a member and learn all about the shows and check out all the naked pictures of naked people in the naked city. And also go to brownpapertickets.com and look up Lily Von Stupper Monday Night Teas, and you can get tickets to all the upcoming events. And there are so many of them, folks. Go see Naked People. I will. I would. I should. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com, go to the Joe Business page, go ahead and buy all your Amazon stuff through our Amazon link, get the Big Angry, get the Yurt Dirt Dirt shirt, get all of that cool stuff. We've got year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, all the downloads. Everything's available at MikeSchmidtComedy.com at the Joe Business page. And every time I come here to the basement, every time I met with my friend David Hernandez, we like to bring a fan into the mix. We like to suck a fan in and bring them in and have them get involved.
Fan sucking.
So we did this. We threw it out there for people, and it's always people who are quick on the draw. And the winner this week, David, was
Ashley Allen?
No, I said winner. Now, technically that's correct, right? Yes?
I think it's a winner.
So she was the first poster. She was the quickest poster. So I'm going to call her a winner.
Except what about her profile picture?
Dude. Well, yeah. So Ashley Allen wins, and I go to her page, I look at her profile picture, and Ashley, I have to ask a question. When did you meet 15-year-old douchebag Mex? That's all I want to know. I could not stop laughing. I go, dude, look at this. I go, she got in a time machine and met you, but douchebag you. Like, when the fuck did that happen? So good for you, Ashley, and make sure. And I'm sure that Mex is not as talented as my Mex.
Yes, we're not going to do the song with the guitar. We're not going to.
Tell me what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. The next time you hear Ashley Allen's name, you will all be surprised.
Okay. So am I taking the lead here?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Ashley Allen. Wow.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking cool.
It was awesome.
And that was all me.
I know. I taught you how to do all that.
Well, I appreciate that.
No problem.
It's the weird thing is just, it's not even really your throat. It's just, that's distance from the mic, folks. That's not even, if you're closer to the mic, you sound a little higher. If you pull yourself further back, then you sound deeper. And it's all tricks of depth perception. And Mex showed you how to do it. So I'm glad I did it.
Yes, I taught you the theory of harmony in the past 3 minutes.
So Ashley, yay, you were first.
Hooray.
And then other people were mad that they were not in there. But I will tell you this. One of the people who posted, and she was like, wow, I'm never first. But let me tell you something. You are first in this show's hearts, ladies and gentlemen. Our friend Jamie. Jamie, do I say her last name? Should I?
What are you going to say?
Yeah, that's true. I guess that matters. So I'm going to say a good thing. I should say her last name. Our friend Jamie Ditterline, who has been mentioned on this show before, she actually gave me the tickets to the Kiss show.
Yay.
That I wound up bringing Erica to. But Jamie is having a surgery procedure this week, and she's getting her hands fixed or some bullshit. I have no idea what it is. Something about her back. I don't know.
Hands back.
All I know is that she's going to fucking kick its ass, and she's going to survive it, and she's going to be great. And then her and Hector and all of her kids and everybody going to be happy. But I will tell you this: if anything tragic does happen, look what I get. Free Kiss tickets for the rest of the year. So there you go. Me and Hector will go, and we'll talk about Jamie the whole time we're there. Jamie would have really loved this game. I can't believe it went so bad with her hands.
They thought it was her back.
They thought, or some bullshit. That was the first problem with the doctor. When his diagnosis included the words, or some bullshit, we knew she was going to be in trouble.
It's either your hands or your back.
Or some bullshit.
We don't
know. Jamie is, she's getting surgery. As I record this, I think she's getting it tomorrow. So technically she's recovering right now in a hospital bed listening to this. That is, if her gnarled hands allow her to work her iPod wheel. I don't know, but I'll tell you this, whatever happens, Jamie, know that you are number one in our hearts. You may say, well, I'm never first. You are absolutely first. So Jamie, thank you so much for listening. Everybody, appreciate it. And Jamie, good luck to you and all of your people.
So what are you going to do now?
I was going to go upstairs.
Oh, we should go get some.
That's a good idea. Mex always says people skip the closing music. I say people love your closing music, so let's prove it to them. If you've listened this far, write me at heymexilistened@gmail.com, and we'll send you a 40-year-old boy hearing commemorative Facebook profile picture that you better fucking put up, you dick. Sorry about the dick thing. 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 Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
I don't want you to miss any of that brilliance.